Pod racers, start your engines. Have you ever wanted to own your own pod racer and race the sands of Tatooine? Well, now you too can own your own pod racer by owning this Anakin Skywalker's personal pod racer, and you too can run your own personal races around your own yard.
Now this is pod racing.
Anakin Skywalker's pod racer comes with everything that you see here. Child and realistic sound effects not included. By Hasbro. Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and I'm kicking off May the Power of the Force 2025, where our theme is original 3.75 prequel figures from around, 99 to 2003. And if it looks like I may be a little burnt, well, it's because I spent the day on the two sons of Tatooine racing Anakin Skywalker's pod racer, and that is right. I'm going to be reviewing this to kick this off, and you can see it's actually in pretty good shape, and I really like this thing, and I definitely do have a story, so stick around to the end where I would kind of give my little story, and maybe it will inspire some people. And again, here we go. Has some little action features, but let's take a look at all the detail that is with this little thing. Figure that actually does come out, little Annie right there. So anyway, let's get into this. But before we do, if you like this type of stuff, you like with us doing this May the Power of the Force 2025 this year, please take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time someone drops a May the Power of the Force 2025 video. All right, so here is the pod racer, and this sucker is actually fairly big. And again, it is coming in different parts. I did not get it brand new. Obviously, I originally had one at one time, or at least someone close to me did. This one I did not get in the box. But anyway, we're going to take a look at everything that it does come with. So quickly, we have a little Anakin figure. He already has his goggles on. And looking at the detail, now he can't do very much. All right, because he is meant pretty much only to sit in that seat. But you can look at that helmet. It looks good. Very weathered. I mean, the paint on it is... I mean, it looks pretty damn weathered, to be honest. A lot of dirt on his outfit here. He's got his little bandana. He does turn it side to side, which does work because if you remember, he did tend to look side to side to see what's happening in the racing. He's got a couple little pouches. You can see the nice detail on it. His legs just pretty much go up. He reminds me a lot of the Biker Scout. And what I mean by that is he was meant for a specific purpose. Boots look good, a nice wash over it, all the way down. Again, remember, he was a slave building his own pod racer. And here is the Anakin after they free him as a slave. And you can see they are the same height. So even though he does look really small, when I put him next to this Anakin and I drop the Comtech, he is the exact same height. So, and he does have little hands that are meant to actually go and hold on to it. So we're going to take a look at this. Now, I love the fact of how just nice solid metal these bars are. These things just pop right off. And the fact that you're able to pop this in here and it just doesn't sit there all sagging everything is absolutely wonderful. All right, so we're going to take a look at this here. It has some decals right there. Is that supposed to be like that? I have no idea. But you get the blue and the silver. It does have some brakes, air brakes, I guess is what you would want to call them. We have some nice detail right there. So we can see the controls, which we do see in the movie. His joysticks do not move, but you're supposed to have a little cluster gauge, and then obviously you have his clear windshield right there. And here we can kind of see the detail, his emblem and everything. On the side here, if I do remember, I do believe this thing, these do come out, so you're able to remove it if you want. Because actually they all came, when it was sent to me, it came like that. But these things are just going to pop right on the side, and they do plug in there real nicely. And when you look at all that detail, again, it's all weathered. And if you remember, he built this from scraps, right? So he's building this pod racer, and no one really knows about it. I think other than his little friend and maybe Guido there. Or is it Guido? It's Guido. If I say Guido, I get yelled at because he's not Italian. All right, and then here we have his, I believe these are his couplers here. We do have independent engines here, or flaps, whatever you want to call it, and they do come off fairly easily. But again, it is nice. You can see exactly how this goes, and this was good because it was meant to kind of put out the fire. I can't believe none of that fell off during our racing. But when you look at the engines here, we'll start here. Here's your exhaust. It was amazing that he didn't get burnt up, but the detail and the wear on it is not something I think too many collectors were looking at. Obviously, there wasn't YouTube back then to look at this type of stuff. But you have this nice detail that goes there. Looking at this exposed engine, which makes sense why Sabobo was able to just walk by and break a small little piece off of it. But they do a really good job. And then on the bottom here, we're going to see the exact same thing. All right. So a lot of detail put into it. Now, again, this thing is made from junk. So it's kind of hard to believe that, yeah, he was able to make things look this nice and have even even engines. Maybe that should have been something that these were two different ones, but again, it kind of breaks the aesthetic of it. So here we have the fans. Nothing turn. Oh, it does turn. Oh, look at that. I don't remember these things ever turning, but the actual fans here do turn. And then even on the wingtips here, whatever you want to call them, I'm not sure what they'd even be called, there is some wear and tear to them. All right, now they look like they all have the exact same paint, and that's perfectly fine. Again, you can only ask for so much, especially back then, but all this detail is really nice. And then you have the, now this was broken, so I did have to glue it. So it's not glued in here, it's actually glued in the middle where it was broken. So I don't want to take it out, but this is actually a separate piece. I'm assuming this is the piece that probably gets broken the easiest. But you have your electricity, and again, I do like the way it looks. It's this translucent pink and clear, so it actually does look like it's kind of shooting across. And I always found it weird that this was the one thing that actually held it together. Like these two things kept the whole thing together. And if you remember, Anakin does lose this piece, and as this thing is flailing around and he's like spinning, this whole thing stays together, which I didn't, even when I was a young adult, kind of found that funny. So as for Anakin, he just slides right in here. He's able to grab the joysticks. I don't even know if they're called joysticks. Whatever they're called. Someone will yell at me. And there you have it. There is your Anakin Skywalker pod racer. And again, this is May the Power of the Force. It's all about fun. We're going to have hopefully 31 creators creating content talking about old original Power. Well, it's not Power of the Force. It's actually the prequel stuff. Not episode 1, but episode 1, episode 2, episode 3. All the original stuff. So anyway, there you go. Tell me what you thought. Tell me if you had this. Maybe you have a story like what I'm about to tell right as we move into the ending here. So, all right. So there you have it. That is my review of Anakin's pod racer from episode 1, way back in the day. I believe, 99 it came out, somewhere around there. Anyway, I told you I'd have a little story about this. And this thing, and also Sabobo's pod racer, which I don't have, it holds a special place in my heart. Before I met my kid's mother, I dated another woman, and she had a very young son. And episode 1 had come out on VHS, And I can remember I was watching in the living room, and he woke up from his nap, and he came in. And he actually came in during pod racing. And we actually ended up getting him both of these. And, well, both this one and Sobobble. And we used to race around the house imitating that scene over and over and over. And like I said, he was young, 2-3 years old. And even to this day, it holds a very special memory in my heart. Again, we just had so much fun playing with this. And again, it's a memory that hopefully, as him, I never had any hard feelings. He'll remember something, even if he doesn't remember who was racing. Just that he had a lot of fun playing with stuff like this. So anyway, that is the my sob little story, I guess you can say. But anyway, this is May the Power of the Force. Up next is going to be Krusty Old Crow, who is going to be reviewing Sobobble's Pod Racer. I figured when he told me he had that, I said, you have to go next after me. It's only fitting to have one Pod Racer and then move on to the next. But anyway, I'm going to leave a link. I'm going to leave a link in the description of everyone that is doing May the Power of the Force. So you can click on down there, subscribe to every single one of the channels, and wait, because we're trying to have 31 different content creators create something different, reviewing an old figure. You know why? Just because it's fun and it's very inexpensive. And just so you know, if you're doing toy tubing, it should be fun. So anyway, I am going to get out of here. But before I do, please take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop one of these. Now, I'm going to leave something up here. I'm just not sure exactly what it is down yet. Down here will be a playlist of something, but I haven't figured it out yet. Take care.